Good morning, this is John Hoffs. Today is April 14th, 2020, 14th day into the 30 days to slow the spread of the coronavirus, and in the middle of the stay-at-home order and all that entails. This morning, I looked at the news from our daily news journal newspaper from Murfreesboro, and it was online, and it carried a link to Nashville's paper, the Tennessean, and since it was online and not in print, it had a video of the governor of Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee, making an announcement, a live announcement, that he had decided that the stay-at-home command order would be lifted as of May 1st. Well, I met this news with some degree of surprise. I was expecting it to perhaps be 15 days longer or 30 more days. And in my mind, I took that road that I'm sure some of you are taking, which is, boy, how can we be out of the woods so well by May 1st? But the other part of me talking to myself in my mind was saying, hell yeah, damn, good, freedom, fun. So I'm just being kind of straight with you about how I can think two competing thoughts as you can. F. Scott Fitzgerald once said that intelligence is holding two competing ideas in one's head at the same time. The one thing that has bothered me, probably more than one thing, but the thing that's bothered me is, and I don't even want to bring it up because I'll be doing something that I don't like myself. So I'll just use one word, and I won't come back to that again, and that's the politicization of the coronavirus, and it's just a sign of our times, I think. But I used the word once, actually twice, because I was fumbling over it, so we'll leave it at there. But while not applying to modern day government, I'm using euphemisms. Instead of modern day politics, I'm sorry I broke my pledge. I said use the word politics again. So I suppose I need to use it for the remainder of this talk. But I wanted to get out if I could find it, a reading that made a profound impact on me when I first read it, because it was addressing the very subject that we're talking about of politics and the folly of it. see here. Okay, I found it. Thank goodness. Okay, it starts on page 25 of a book I shared the other day, which is J. Krishnamurti, The First and Last Freedom. And there's a picture of him as a young man. And here's what he said. He says, "Now is it possible to come to that state when you yourself perceive the truth instantaneously and therefore put an end to confusion? I say that it is, and that it is the only possible way. I say it can be done and must be done, not based on supposition or belief. To bring about this extraordinary revolution, which is not the revolution to get rid of the capitalists and install another group, but to bring about this wonderful transformation, which is the only true revolution, is the problem. What is generally called revolution is merely the modification or the continuance of the right, as in right wing, according to the ideas of the left." Think of that. What is generally called revolution is merely the modification or the continuance of the right according to the ideas of the left. The left, after all, is the continuation of the right in a modified form. If the right is based on sensual values, the left is but a continuance of the same sensual values, different only in degree or expression. Therefore, true revolution can take place only when you, the individual, become aware in your relationship to another. Surely what you are in your relationship to another, to your wife, your child, your boss, your neighbor, surely that is society. Society by itself is non-existent. Society is what you and I, in our relationship, have created. It is the outward projection of all our own inward psychological states. So if you and I do not understand ourselves, merely transforming the outer, which is the projection of the inner, it has no significance whatsoever. That is, there can be no significant alteration or modification in society as long as I do not understand myself in relationship to you. Being confused in my relationship, I create a society which is the replica, the outward expression of what I am. This is an obvious fact, which we can discuss. We can discuss whether society, the outward expression, has produced me, or whether I have produced society. So, if you accept Krishnamurti's premise that the right is merely the left in a modified form and vice versa, and that each is just a continuation of the other in sort of a circle. For example, like pure communism would be considered great if it was non-corrupt and truly provided for its people and was not dictatorial. That people would say good things about it, and then, but the more communistic Russia and China became, the worse communism looked. they gave communism a very bad name. So the left, who might have thought that communism was the goal, had to backtrack from that belief. At the same time, the conservatives range from moderate conservatives to hard right-wing conservatives. But again, it's a matter of degree. And, you know, it really isn't even separate if you really think about it. It's just a matter of degree on a kind of circular, uh, circular, uh, sorry about that, a circular wheel in which, you know, every degree of, of progressiveness versus conservative would be, you know, another point on that circle. And the other extreme from pure communism would be pure capitalism. And interestingly, the left, which I think used to like capitalism better in the past when it was before it became, you know, sort of corrupted, just in the same way that communism was corrupted. The left sort of had to pull away from capitalism like they did with communism, and the right came in and filled the void that was left by the left. Anyway, that was just to say that, you know, these dates of ending of the stay-at-home orders, and again in the Tennessee, it's going to be May 30th. May 1st will be the first day that, quote, we're back open for business. You know, just really was almost a shock, like I said. But we still have 16 days to go, and I'll be in touch. Thanks for listening to my ramblings. Thank you.